Hello everyone, and welcome to Physics PhD Live. So, I hope that I shall be your host for the coming weeks or months or however long I am able to keep this project going. I mean, admittedly, I hope it's going to be years, as I still have a few years left on my PhD, but we shall see whether or not this endeavour is sustainable. So, a little bit of background on me. I am currently doing my theoretical physics PhD at King's College London, and I'm specialising in computational condensed matter physics, looking at nanocatalysts. That's all well and good for people who know about these things, but for the rest of you, it's probably quite boring. So the fundamentals of it, I suppose, can be broken down to: I use very powerful computers, I write a lot of software, I work with things that are really teensy tiny, like we're talking nanometer scale, which is, absurdly small. It makes human cells look massive. And one of the most important things as well is that I absolutely love what I do. So, the purpose of this channel is quite broad, actually. This is intended to be a science communication platform for me to talk about my research, and more to that as well, my experiences as a PhD student. I appreciate that right now I'm talking to a camera, but I'd like to think that as more people come to this, assuming that you shall, that I will actually be speaking not only to a camera, but to each and every one of you, both in here and maybe in here, but we'll get to that. Okay, cool. So it's meant to be a science communication platform, and so the general itinerary that I have proposed that I shall work on is that on Saturdays I will do a digest as to what I've been working on in this past week, obviously things that I can disclose as unpublished data, unpublished results. I'm not going to be able to talk about in great detail, but when I have made a publication, then I will talk about it in great depth on that kind of thing. But while I'm still working on it, then obviously I hope you will respect my not wanting to be scooped. Okay, so that's the idea for Saturday. For Wednesdays, which today happens to be Wednesday the 6th of January, then I will be talking about a paper that I've either read recently or intending to read, and I will discuss its merits, what the authors have been talking about, some broader implications, and a little bit of the background theory as well, to make sure that this is accessible to as many people as possible. As one of my fears is that this is going to be really esoteric, which is great for people who know a lot about condensed matter physics, but we are unfortunately a small community relative to the whole population. But that's cool. That's cool. So yeah, I hope to break down some of these barriers between large groups of people and the really cool physics that we get at. So that's Wednesday, is papers and contemporary science, which I'm personally not responsible for. And on Mondays, my ambition is that I'm also going to be running a weekly introduction to maths and physics course as well. So I will be teaching some fundamental mathematical skills. So, oh, pardon me. So, your calculus, your signal processing, all of that kind of good stuff, your series, your analysis, you get the score, and then showing how these techniques are actually really invaluable when you are doing theoretical physics. So that will be Monday, and that will be, the idea I have for that is that I should be able to pick up people who are either whose maths and physics education ended at GCSE, or people who are approaching their GCSEs and have an interest in taking this further. And so I'll be looking to pick you up around there, I'll be looking to be aiming it at people who, back in my day, will have got a C or a B. They're reasonable at it, but they maybe lack the confidence, or they had a bad teacher or whatever. But that's where I'll be picking you up from. Or for those of you who are doing it these days, if you're getting, I think, around about a 5, I believe is the current GCSE system. So I'll be looking to pick you up there and drag you all the way up to undergraduate understanding of things. If you're interested, that is. Which I hope you will be, because I find it fascinating. And in case you're worried about my qualifications to do this, I have been teaching in some capacity, be it personal freelance tutoring or teaching at universities for all of my adult life, so for the last 7 years. If you are personally in doubt as to any of this, then I can quite happily share with you references I have, but I hope that there won't be any need for that. So yeah, I'm certainly qualified, I hope you'll believe me in saying this, but I'm certainly qualified to do a form of education, and I hold 2 master's degrees as well as my undergraduate. So my undergraduate is in pure theoretical physics. My first master's degree is also in theoretical physics with a focusing on topological condensed matter physics. My second master's degree was in non-equilibrium systems, specializing in data analysis and advanced simulation techniques. And my current PhD project, as I've just disclosed, is working on all of these simulations on very small condensed matter systems of nanoparticles. So those are my credentials, and hopefully they'll be sufficient for you to believe that for the most part, I ought to know what I'm talking about, and for those instances I don't, I am more than happy to refer you to somebody or to some material which is able to assist you in that regard. Given that it is Wednesday, I will also be posting today a video discussing a paper, which I shall not describe here. Instead, you will have to go to the video and watch that. See what I'm doing there? You know, trying to increase viewership, add suspense. You get the score. You get the score. Cool. So, from Physics PhD Life, I thank you for clicking on this video, and as much as anything else as well, I really hope that you stick around, as this is something I've been looking to do for quite a few years now, and I'm very excited to begin this project. Have a beautiful day, all of you. I suppose I should have some sort of outro. Well, we'll work on that together. Increase the peace.